It's been over a month since the last episode of Coaster Odyssey, and that gap was not planned. I've arrived on the other side of the world where I'm currently living in Ireland, and a series of challenges with getting myself settled into my new home meant that a visit to a theme park was not high on my priority list. But with all those issues resolved, the homesickness slowly subsiding, and the weather clearing up for the first time since my arrival, it seemed like the perfect time to visit Emerald Park. This is Cú Chulainn, a gravity group wooden coaster that put the park and Ireland itself on the map in 2015. And it was voted the best roller coaster in Ireland. Good morning, everyone. It is a cool and crisp but lovely sunny day here in County Meath in Ireland, just to the north of Dublin. We are here at Emerald Park, formerly known as Tayto Park. We're on a mission to ride the best roller coaster in every country in the world, and Episode 4 brings us here to ride Cú Chulainn. Let's go. There are 197 countries on planet Earth. 130 of them are currently home to a roller coaster. Some of them are big, some not so much. But I'm going to ride them all.
What?
This is the story of one enthusiast's insane mission to ride the best roller coaster in every single country. One man, 130 countries, 130 coasters. This is Coaster Odyssey. Welcome to County Meath, just to the north of Dublin. This part of the world has become a home away from home for me over the last few weeks as I've settled into the nearby town of Drogheda, and that makes Ireland's one and only theme park my new home park. So naturally, my European adventures begin here, as we take on the fourth of over 130 countries in the Coaster Odyssey series.
Just Emerald Park, thanks.
About a month after my arrival, my first opportunity to visit Emerald Park as a guest arose, and so on a fresh and very sunny April morning, I took the bus to Ireland's #1 theme park destination. It was my one day off for the week, and it was nice to take a break from working and the paperwork and immigration sides of travelling to spend a day at a theme park and make it really feel like it was worth moving all the way to the other side of the world to take on this challenge. Episode 4 of Coaster Odyssey brings me to Ireland's east coast in the town of Ashburn, about 20 kilometres to the north of the capital city of Dublin. We may not be far outside the city, but it is an area of widespread green fields and beautiful farmland that surrounds Ireland's one and only theme park, Emerald Park. Formerly known rather famously as Tayto Park, the park was established in 2010 by Ray Coyle, an Irish potato farmer who established Largo Foods, which would later become the parent company of the famous Irish potato chip brand Tayto. This brand of chips is so iconic in Ireland that Tayto has become an accepted slang term for potato chips in general. Coyle's vision was inspired by Hershey Park in the United States. The intention was to create a park that could serve as a major tourist destination and generate publicity and business for Tayto. It was constructed on 22 hectares of land near Ashburn with an investment of €8.5 million and originally consisted mostly of picnic areas, playgrounds, and smaller attractions. However, the popularity of the park made it quickly evident that there was a market and certainly demand for a theme park in Ireland, something which had been attempted but never successfully executed before. The park grew rapidly, expanding to include major theme park attractions, a full-scale zoo, and eventually their first roller coaster, Cú Chulainn, a gravity group wooden coaster named after the famous figure in Irish folklore. Since then, in February 2022, the park was rebranded after the sponsorship deal with Tayto ended, adopting its new name, Emerald Park, in reference to Ireland's nickname as the Emerald Isle. All right, here we go. First lap of the day on Cú Chulainn. It's one of the longest wooden coasters in Europe. This is going to be great. Here we go. That is Cú Chulainn. All right, that is coaster number 4 of this journey done and dusted. Cú Chulainn Gravity Group wooden coaster. It is a fantastic ride. It's very long, and the first half is quite powerful. Now, I feel like it's going to warm up, and of course I was in the front row, and we all know I'm a back row enthusiast, but that was a good ride. It is full of airtime. It's pretty good. There's only 1 or 2 spots I would describe as rough, which is really good for a 9-year-old wooden coaster. Yeah, absolutely amazing. I think it peters out a little bit in the second half, but it is definitely in my top 5. That is a great coaster. Cú Chulainn, actually known by its full name, the Cú Chulainn Coaster, began construction in August 2014. It was the second installation of a coaster in Europe by the Gravity Group after Twister at Sweden's Groneland, and it was part of a €26 million investment into Tato Park that included 7 other new rides and attractions. It is named after the Irish warrior demigod who gained his name by killing the fierce guard dog of Chulainn in self-defense and offering to take its place. He is said to have died in battle, tying himself to a standing stone so that he would die on his feet. The coaster named after him placed 4th in the Golden Ticket Awards for Best New Ride in 2015 and stands 32 metres tall with 1,092 metres of track and a top speed of 90 kilometres an hour. These stats place it among the longest wooden roller coasters in all of Europe. So our next stop for the day will be Dino Dash. This will be a new credit for me. It is a Vekoma family coaster opened here in 2022. I'm interested to see how it rides because this will be my first time riding a family coaster that is like new generation Vekoma, new style of track, new style of trains and everything. So already the theming's looking pretty good. Let's see how this rides. And it looks like we have a maintenance issue. So we will be back to Dino Dash. Let's go check out the park's other family coaster. The good news is that the summer crowds have not really picked up here at Emerald Park yet. There's basically no queues. So we'll have plenty of opportunity to run around and get some footage on all of the rides, including the Flume, which I'm very keen to check out, all of the coasters, and a lot of the flat rides as well. Emerald Park is also part zoo, so we'll be going and checking out the animals later on as well. So while we wait for the issues to be resolved on Dino Dash, we're going to check out the other family roller coaster at this park, which is Flight School, built by Zira 2019. It's a standard model, but I've never ridden one of these before, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we've just had our first ride of the day on Flight School. That's my first ride, and it's remarkably good. It's very, very smooth. The transitions are beautiful. It's absolutely flawless. And I love the little zigzags. It's kind of unique. I don't see a lot of manufacturers really trying that kind of thing with those little zigzaggy corners. I can't say they offer too much force, but they're interesting. So I like it. I like the layout. Flight School gets a thumbs up from me. Alright, we will go and try our luck again with Dino Dash shortly. Hopefully, better luck this time. And that was Dino Dash, my 90th roller coaster and the third that I've ridden here at Emerald Park. It's by Vekoma, fairly new little family coaster, and it's really good. Nice and smooth, a little bit short, but you go around twice to make up for it, and the theming is quite excellent. I was not really expecting that. Big thumbs up from me. We've got one roller coaster to go, and of course, plenty more rides. So one thing that strikes me about Emerald Park here is that it is extraordinarily varied in what it has to offer. You know, you've got the rides, you've got the roller coasters. Of course, we're about to go and see the zoo in a minute as well. But as well as all the rides, they've got high ropes kind of courses that open up in the summer. They've got playgrounds. They've got all of these different areas for all ages and all different interests. So it's more of like a destination in itself than just a theme park. And it's very much set up as a place for families to come for a good weekend out. So I like it. It's good, and it may be Ireland's only amusement park, but it is a good one. All right, time to brave the flume ride. Oh, wow, this is quite cool. Clear that this ride is set up to have long queues. We've got all these like activities and bits of information about Irish history and heritage all around the area. This cool little Viking longhouse area. So there's like things to do while you're in the queue. This is really nicely designed. See here, put your Viking skills to the test. Like if there was a solid hour and a half line for this, I could see myself having no problem waiting. This is great. Lovely. Alright, that was the park's flume ride, Viking Voyage. It's quite lengthy and it's got 3 drops. Pretty good, pretty fantastic. I think the theming needs just a little bit of TLC, not in a big way, just like a little neaten up kind of thing, maybe a pressure wash or whatever, but I was really impressed. That's a good ride, and I'm absolutely drenched, so I'm quite glad actually that my trip here got delayed long enough that the weather is not too bad. So we're gonna go and check out some of the shopping options here at Emerald Park before we check out some more rides. Just a reminder, guys, that we're giving away a small piece of merch from every park that I visit along the Coast to Odyssey journey. To be eligible to win, all you have to do is become a channel member. It costs $5 Australian per month. And with that, you get 24 hours advance access to all of my videos, some exclusive content as well, an exclusive Discord channel, and access to these giveaways. So scan the QR code on the screen if you're interested. All right, it's time to check out the zoo side of Emerald Park, which apparently is quite extensive. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hello, a little bit of a taste of home.
Sorry, could you stay standing, please? Stay standing. Thank you. We asked you to stay standing, please.
So we got all of this for 16 euros. I know some parks where that wouldn't buy you anything at the fast food outlets. This looks fantastic. If you're here at Emerald Park and you're looking for a place to eat, I cannot recommend the Lodge restaurant enough. That was, slightly more expensive than the other places in the park, but for what you get a big proper meal, vegetables, meat, the whole lot. And at a theme park, to get that for about 16 euros, that's pretty good. So thumbs up. I was very satisfied with that. So Emerald Park actually separates its thrill and family and kids rides into 2 different sections of the park. And I must say, actually, the kids and family section might be the better presented. It's very pretty. All of these gardens around, all of the rides have this great effort put into the theming. It's absolutely spectacular looking. 4th and final roller coaster here at Emerald Park, the SBF spinner, Ladybird Loop. Well, I must say that out of the 4 parks that we've visited on this Around the World challenge so far, this might be my favorite. I think I'm looking forward to seeing these 2 new roller coasters open. It will give this park something a little bit more substantial. That's probably what it needs, but it is such a beautiful park. So lovely and green, just like most of Ireland actually is, and it's truly spectacular. I love it here. Cú Chulainn is a great coaster, and yeah, we're gonna go get some more rides. What surprises me the most about Cú Chulainn is its smoothness. After my experiences with Leviathan at SeaWorld and how much its smoothness has deteriorated within the space of a year, I expected that a 9-year-old gravity group might be a bit of a rough ride. But aside from a couple of notable jolts in the double down, which by the way still manages to be my favourite element despite the roughness, Cú Chulainn was a brilliantly smooth ride. Its first drop is spectacular and loaded with flow to airtime, and there are some great, well-paced airtime moments. The overbank is also a unique and fantastic experience. I would criticise that the second half of the ride seems to lose its pace somewhat, but there are still some good elements in the back rows, and I can't criticise it too much for that. For a country with only one major theme park, Ireland has a brilliant coaster on its hands with Cú Chulainn.
Man, Cú Chulainn, what a ride. It is absolutely fantastic. So much airtime, very limited rough spots. There's a couple of little potholes, but for a gravity group wooden coaster that is 9 years old, it is running so well. First half absolutely hauls. Second half slows down a little bit, but not enough for it to be a real problem. It's just such a fantastic ride. So lengthy, so long, great airtime. I'm a big fan. And of course, it wouldn't be a roller coaster enthusiast video without taking a look over here at the progress on Tír na nÓg. We've got the Vekoma STC, and of course you can see just there the spikes of the family boomerang. There's also a flat ride in there. This will be the entrance to the land when it opens, apparently next month. So that's very exciting, and I can't wait to see that happen. Well, we are calling it a wrap on Coaster Odyssey Day 4. It has been a spectacular day here at Emerald Park in Ireland. The Irish weather has really turned out for us. It's probably the best day that I've had here weather-wise since arriving in the country about a month ago, so truly spectacular. This is a great park. It is a really beautiful park. I can't wait for it to get a couple of more roller coasters to really flesh out that lineup, because then it might become one of the best smaller parks in Europe. As for the roller coaster that we were here to ride, it is fantastic. It's full of airtime, it's got a long layout. Second half dies down a little bit, as I said, but it's not too bad at all. There's no really rough spots. It's just a great wooden coaster in general. Thank you everyone so much for watching. That's 4 countries down on this journey. For episode 5, I'm heading for a roller coaster that I'm sure a lot of roller coaster enthusiasts are very excited about in 2024. If you can guess which one it is, leave it down in the comments. While you're down there, click the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon, and I will see you next episode. Bye.
In the next episode of Coaster Odyssey, I'm going to be riding a coaster that has a serious chance of contending for my #1 spot. And let's just say, I'm getting hyped. Join me for episode 5 of Coaster Odyssey. In the meantime, please click the like button to help out against the YouTube algorithm, click the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when I next upload, and leave a comment with your thoughts on this episode. I'll see you next time.